And without further ado, because I know it's a very long phone call, probably racking up a pretty big bill, is Captain Keith Clark of the Vermont National Guard. Captain Clark, thank you so much for taking the time to join us on True North today.
It's my pleasure.
My first question for you is how is everybody doing? How's morale? Are things looking good?
In my opinion, things are looking good. Everybody's morale, at least in my section, is still very high. We're certainly all looking forward to coming home in just a few months. But I think morale is high because of what we've been able to accomplish while we've been over here.
Now, what's life like over there for you? I know what's it like to go into a country like Afghanistan, which has some of the most severe climate in the world? How do you live? What kind of things surprised you when you got over there, and how have you and the other people serving adapted to living in that environment?
I think the thing that surprised me the most was just how desolate this area is. Once you get outside of Bagram Airfield, it's almost like going back in time. People literally live in homes made out of mud and twigs. There's not much there. There's no infrastructure to speak of. Yet they continue to survive and thrive. So that is what really caught me at first, was just how almost like going back in time. It was like days are long. My typical day is anywhere from 14 to 15 hours long. But that makes the days go by because there is not one boring day.
Now, that's what you're doing over in Afghanistan, and a big part of the sacrifice that you make when you take on a role in the Guard is the life you give up back at home when you're deployed. So can you tell our listeners a little bit about what you did back here in Vermont, and we'll come back to in a couple of months?
I'm the Windham County Sheriff, so my department is being run by my second in command, so I literally stepped away from an elected position. I walked away from a good job, but I also walked into one that's just as rewarding.
Now, how about your family? How are they are coping with your deployment?
This is the second time I've been away for over a year. First time was very early in our marriage. I spent a year in Korea when my daughters were much younger. So this time, where before she had to support our daughters, this time I think my daughters support her. My youngest still lives close to home. She's now 20 as a full-time student. What's interesting is my oldest daughter is married to a soldier. She lives in Hawaii, and her husband, my son-in-law, is deployed also, and he's in Iraq. So not only does she worry about me, she has to worry about her son-in-law. So she gets the double whammy.
Now, I can guess that the things that you miss most about when you're deployed is your family. But what are some of the other things that the little creature comforts that you miss the most?
Believe it or not, being able to sit on my own couch and watching my own television. Just being able to relax at home is probably the biggest thing I miss. And you're right, you miss the simple things like mowing your lawn. Over here, there really is no grass. If you're walking around, you're walking on crushed stone or sand. So you just miss the grass, and I miss those kind of things. So you're right, you miss the little things. I miss spending time certainly with my wife and my daughters, but I just miss being in my own home.
We've got a caller on the line. Can you take a call from Bonnie?
If it's the Bonnie that I've known for 27 years, I certainly will take that call.
I believe it is.
Good morning. Good evening.
Morning, sweetie. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to say good morning and good evening, and I love you, and I'm very proud of you, and I miss you.
And I miss you, too, and thank you very much for calling, but they're going to say you're cheating by getting through this way.
No cheating. I called the correct number.
As she called the open line, the one that anybody is allowed to call in on True North.
That's right.
This makes this phone call and this time that much more worth it for me, just to be able to hear my wife's voice over the phone. Well,
we're very, very glad we were able to facilitate that here at True North.
Yes, we thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now I better go back to my class.
Yeah, we don't want to get the captain in too much trouble. Bonnie, thanks for calling, and I'm glad you were able to do it.
Thank you. Everybody have a great day.